Okay, and on to reading 3. So this looks like a difficult text. People will see mathematical and they'll start to panic. Don't worry. Preface is just something that a writer writes before the actual book starts. So what have we got? Looks pretty difficult. This is this matching information question type. Definitely leave that for later. And just to help a little bit, at least we have some gap fills. So let's start with the gap fills. First thing to do, find where they come from. Now, one thing to understand here is this will come from everywhere. This question type always comes from everywhere. They can take it from anywhere in the whole text. So that means that they will probably take from everywhere as well. Of course, they can just use a few paragraphs, but it's more than likely that they will take it from everywhere. So what you're going to do, scan for that, not mathematics because it's everywhere, and then scan for lawyer and law. But common sense tells us start scanning for music in paragraph 1, start scanning for lawyer at the end and scan backwards. And soon you will find that music is there and lawyer is there and there. Great. So now all that tells us is that they've taken it from everywhere. I would like to say it's probably one question, one paragraph, but they don't always do that. So you can't rely on that. Let's quickly look at the grammar. This helps us here, so we know that we're going to be looking for a singular noun. This could be anything, a knowledge of. It could be plural, countable, probably not singular. This helps us because we know that that's going to be an adjective. So just write ADJ there above it or something, just to remind you that you're looking for an adjective. The grammar doesn't really help us, but books written by, so you know that you're looking for some kind of a person. Of course, this is not going to be a tree or a dog or something like that. The grammar doesn't really help us, except the books is plural. I think in terms of grammar, it could be uncountable, but it's most likely that it's going to be a plural countable. Books were written by some kind of plural countable noun. So I would even put plural there, maybe even a question mark, just to make sure that I'm looking for it. Advises to perform means to do. What do? You do something. So this could be countable plural or uncountable again. Just remember we're only looking for one word. So it can't be something. So it must be countable, plural or uncountable. And then studying something again. Like most of these things in these gap fills, the answer is either plural, countable or uncountable. So that's the same over there, right? Then I wouldn't go and find all of these before. I think you can just do these one by one. It won't help you to find any others. So let's just get started. Some areas of music and mathematics are suitable for someone who is a. Areas are suitable for someone who is a something. Alright, so the main thing here is that you're looking for single countable noun that can be used to describe people, a person. And, well, look, I don't even want to say too much, because where are the single countable nouns in this paragraph? And immediately you should just find that. Someone who is a beginner. They're so easy, they're so simple, they're so suitable for a beginner. So yeah, I don't even want to say much more about that, because we were looking for a single countable noun. The grammar really helped us there. So you can find that very quickly. Right, next, it is sometimes possible to understand advanced mathematics using no more than a limited knowledge of. So I would be looking for something to do with advanced and something about limited knowledge. This is an important word to know, limited. If something is limited, it means there is not a lot of it. Right, so let's see if we can find advanced and not a lot. Now, I was actually expecting them to go to the next paragraph. Be careful. They did a little bit of a trick here. They put it right there, right in the next sentence. So you should actually start scanning there and go down. Don't jump. So there's advanced mathematics. There are some discoveries, do not depend on knowledge, not even on... So there's knowledge, but I'm looking for limited knowledge of. I'm looking for a limited knowledge of something. There's nothing that's specialized knowledge. Can you see anything that means a limited amount, a limited, not a lot? And it was that over there. So you're looking for a limited knowledge of, a little knowledge of, and there is your answer there. Technically, in terms of grammar, you could have chosen any one of these, they would have fitted, but the thing with these three is, how do you choose which one is more important? They are all, it's a list of three. They are all equal importance, so you can't choose one of these. The key to this whole thing, to this question, was a limited knowledge of, a little. And so arithmetic is your answer. Right, next, the writer intends to show that mathematics requires something thinking as well as analytical skills. Okay, so that's what we would be scanning for. Remember, we're looking for an adjective. That's why it's important to write ADJ there, just to remind you. Analytical skills. And then we need to start scanning. Strangely enough, they've actually skipped the whole paragraph just to try and trick you, and there is the word analytical. So let's read that sentence. This book will bridge the gap that separates the two cultures. Remember, when you see something like this, it's important information. You must go and find those. What are the two cultures? The humanities and the sciences. But, he says, another way of saying it, the right brain, intuitive, the left brain, analytical, numerical. So this is the analytical skills, and we're looking for an adjective. It could be that's also an adjective, but we've already mentioned that with the analytical. That's the one that we want, that adjective. Here it kind of repeats, mathematics not restricted to analytical and numerical. Intuition plays a significant role as well. So there they've changed it into a noun. So you can't select that one because that's a noun. You must select that adjective. And really, if you go through this, you won't find many adjectives. And so that's how the grammar really helped us here. We know we're looking for an adjective. There weren't many. So that's our answer, intuitive. Right, some books written by, we'll look for books. Leave out mathematics central to the theories. Books leave out central theories. And another thing, just to see, we're probably looking for a plural countable, but also it's going to be some kind of people, because only people write books. Book. Now, he's talking about this book. We're looking for other books, and right over there. And that's actually just very easy. Other scientists have written books. So our answer is going to be scientists. It's people. It's a plural countable, as we were expecting. Let's just make sure we're in the right place. Can you see? Had to leave out the mathematics. What did they use for leave out? And there it is. Had to omit the mathematics. So you can just guess that omit means leave out. So the books were written by the scientists, straightforward enough. And then lastly, the lawyer found that studying... Right, then this one I'm guessing it's going to be a bit difficult because we've got an answer here. So the other answer could be sort of anywhere all the way up to there, because the lawyer one is here. So this last one could be anywhere here. It might be a bit more difficult. Non-mathematical readers perform while reading the book. Non-mathematical readers. And actually, it wasn't so bad because there is non-mathematical reader. But now, you must perform something. What does perform mean? Here, he's advising the reader to do. To perform these is to do. This book prevents that illustrate the style of thinking involves sustained step-by-step analysis, experiments, and insights. You can do any one of these, so maybe it's those, but again, it's a list of 3. So how do we know which one is more important? It can't be one of those because we don't know which one to choose. Let's continue. Turn the pages slowly. Where's perform? It may help, and there's advise. It may help to have pencil and paper ready. to check claims and carry out experiments. There we go. Which one of these means to perform, to do, not to check? Carry out means perform. Carry out means do. So what are we going to perform? We're going to perform the experiments. Not too bad. And then this last one about the lawyer. Studying something helped. Countable, plural or uncountable? Even more than other areas. What helped more than other areas of mathematics? Now this is all introduction. Although I had no background, where's something helped? Something was positive. I did well. Why did he do well? Much of my success to having learned through the mathematics and comma, in particular, comma, theorems, comma. It's quite complicated with all the commas here. How to analyze complicated principles. So, a lot of students want to say principles there, and I can see why you would say that. But we say even more than other areas of mathematics. That's the key. It's a difficult one, this, don't worry. He studied mathematics and in particular the theorems. So that means the mathematics helped, but the theorems helped even more than the mathematics. So really most students will either say theorems or principles, but remember you've got to have every part of this question answered. The principles, he didn't compare the principles to other areas of mathematics. He compared the theorems to the other areas of mathematics, and that's why you must choose that one. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. You can get quite a few there. Now we're going to move on to this really difficult one. Please pay attention to this next section. I need to show you something very important. Alright, so this of course is not going to be easy. It's reading 3, and this is a very difficult question type. This one and matching headings are both very difficult. You need to scan a lot and find some details, and they paraphrase a lot. So especially in reading 3, don't hope to get all of these. You're going to guess for a few of them at the end. Don't worry about that. But you can try and find the easy ones. Now the first thing that I want you to do is to realize that there is important information here which can help you, especially because they took this from everywhere and this is from everywhere. So a mistake that a lot of students make is that they do this, they finish it, and then delete. Then they forget about it. Don't delete. Come back to it. Just remember there is valuable information here. There is information here which IELTS has identified as important. They made a question out of it. That's why, so it must be important. Now some of these, please notice I say some of these can help you with some of these. Maybe you can match up a few of these with a few of these, and that can help you to find a few easier answers. Not only with this question type, you can also do this with matching headings and maybe a summary or something like that. The main point I want to make is that sometimes one question type can help you with another question type. So you should sort of cross-check the information between the two question types, and sometimes that can give you a couple of answers. So what you'll need to do is, let's look at the first one. Some areas of music and mathematics are suitable for someone who is a beginner. Does that match up with any of these? The other way that you could do it is to start here and see if you remember any of these words which will remind you of any of these things. And I think I'm going to do it that way first, because actually I see one straight away. A reference to books that assume a lack of mathematical knowledge. Now, can you remember anything in these questions about books and lack of mathematical knowledge? And that was over there. Some books and leave out the mathematics, lack of mathematical knowledge. So then you should go to this paragraph and check if you could see it. What paragraph was that? That was over here. And there's books, and we wanted to assume, the writer assumes a lack of mathematical knowledge, explain their fields to non-scientists and have had to omit the mathematics. So that's really enough. That's close enough. We're in reading 3. We don't have too much time. I would definitely go for D there. Right. The way in which this is not a typical book, I don't remember. Personal examples of being helped by mathematics. Can you remember anything about personal examples and being helped by mathematics? This was a personal example, the lawyer, and there he was helped by the mathematics. We can go to that paragraph. We want examples. Here is a physician and here is a lawyer. So it's 2 examples by people, and they helped. It prepared the physician and it helped the lawyer. So that one we can quite quickly find as being paragraph G. Any others? Examples of people who had abilities? No. Mention of different focuses? Don't remember anything. Reading this, reading other kinds? No. The whole book is accessible to everybody. There's something quite similar to that. Can you remember anything? So if you go through these, accessible to everybody, there's a word. Suitable, accessible. Even somebody who is a beginner, suitable for everybody. So let's just go and check. It's kind of close. We can go and check, look at that paragraph, see if we can find anything that will confirm it. And it's over here. Maybe anyone can understand. Suitable for everybody, accessible for everybody. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. Do you want to read these and then check through these, or do you want to check these and then read through these? But the point that I'm trying to make, I'll just make that A, is that before you even go to the text, use this information. Don't throw this information away. It is valuable information. Use one question to help you with another question. Right, and then you've gotten, that gave us 3. That's great, 3 out of 8. And then we will have to move on to the more difficult aspects of it. Right, so a good thing to notice here is that there's a lot of these. It's not that common. There are 8 of these, and how many paragraphs? 7 paragraphs. That tells me they are going to use every paragraph, and they will use one of the paragraphs more than once. I have never seen them use a paragraph 3 times. So they like to try and use as many paragraphs as possible, and then one of them will be more than once. It's actually quite nice. Sometimes there's only 2 or 3 or 4 of these and 8 paragraphs. Then you don't know. Maybe you're reading a paragraph and it's just they're not using it. But this one, I'm pretty confident they're going to use all the paragraphs and one of them twice. So what's your strategy? Well, I wouldn't look for something and then go and scan through the whole thing and then look for another thing and then scan through the whole thing. You can get some of these by kind of giving a topic to a paragraph and maybe matching that up with a theme in one of these, almost like a matching headings. You can get some of them like that. And then some of them are just plain, simple, difficult. It's just one small detail hidden deep somewhere in this, and you either get lucky and see it or you don't. So what I would do, because I know that they're going to use every paragraph, I would go paragraph by paragraph, because I know I'm not reading a paragraph that they don't use. So you just got to try and read it. One of the reasons for writing this book, look at the linking language, that can help you. In that respect, this book differs from most books. I want to reveal not only fascinating discoveries, but also the reasoning behind them. Some books do this, others do this, and yet others go into that. That's quite interesting. There's a list of 3 things over there. Anything that you can see. And that's the only way to do it. I wish I could tell you a fast way, but there isn't. Not typical. That's quite interesting. Examples of people I didn't see. Different focuses. That's quite interesting. Contrast. Other kinds of publication. Yeah, he talked about other books. Different categories of readers. So actually it's not a typical book. It differs from most books. That's very interesting, I've got to say. I would say yes, that's right. Examples of people know different focuses of books about mathematics, and that was also there. Most books on mathematics. Some present, others do that, yet others go there. So I would say definitely it's not a typical book. He is saying it's not a typical book, not a normal book, and then he's also mentioning that. So I'm just guessing here, but I would say that one and that one. B is the paragraph that they use twice. Now, examples of people. Let's find some people, abilities that seemed incompatible. Remember, they're going to be paraphrasing here, so you probably won't find incompatible. We used all of this. And then here is some examples. An engineer, an artist, engineer, singer, mathematician. So there's all different people. Maybe it's that. Had abilities that seemed incompatible. Incompatible means they do not match. And yes, that is the answer. We got a little bit lucky. It was the first one we looked at. But there's all of the people that he's talking about. So yeah, let's see. We're going quickly now to the end of the test. You're going to be guessing. Contrast this book and other kinds of publication. Kinds of publication means not books. It probably means newspapers or magazines or things. Where were we? D. We've used D. We need an E and an F. So let's look at E and F. We need other kinds of publication, and we need different categories of readers. And just look through E and F. Other kinds of publication. Different categories of readers. And there is other kinds of publication. So that will be E. Different categories of readers. I'm quite sure it's going to be F. Two types of readers. Notice this, please. It's really important information. Every time that we see it, it gives you important information. 1 advantage, 2 advantages, 3 advantages, 4 key things, 5 factors, all of that sort of thing. They chose an answer from there, and they chose an answer from there. 2 types of readers is different categories of readers right there. So please notice how important this kind of structure is. Alright, so sorry I had to rush through it a bit at the end, but there is no quick way to do it. Once you've sort of found a few easy ones, then you just got to read and scan. Try and match up synonyms, paraphrase. Okay, so that's the end of that.